Hey folks, it is Tuesday, January 25th, and here is your daily forecast. So today in class is going to be pretty chill. So we are going to actually learn some key LGBTQIA+ terminology by engaging with this comic book called The Gender Book. And if you've had me before in class, this should be real easy for you because this is not the first time. I got such a good response in all of my other classes in introducing this. This is usually like a common thing that I do, right? So we are going to engage with this today. The first thing I want you to do is to download a copy of The Gender Book because accessing it just online is not going to be as helpful for you. So just sort of know that the first thing we're going to do is just download a copy of this, and I want you to watch this video right here to make sure that you know how to adjust the view settings so that you can engage with the Gender Book as a 2-page spread. So this is the Gender Book itself, and you can kind of see from the images in here that they require this kind of 2-page spread. And so I want you to learn how to adjust your settings. And then for the majority of class, like 80% of the class, maybe 70% of the class, you're going to be engaging with this sort of downloaded copy of the Gender Book and reading it on your own. But as you're reading, really pay attention to which visuals you feel are super helpful, or like pieces of new information you're like, oh, that's rad. I'm really glad that I know that. This has been really clarifying for me. The reason is because then in task 2, we're actually going to practice that active reading model with the Gender Book, which means that once more, we're going to access the copy of the Gender Book that is on a Google Drive. And what we're going to do is we're going to practice that 1+2 active reading exercise. So if one of the things that you remember, you're like, oh, this is a really cool visual, or wow, like this thing right here really stands out to me, you're just going to highlight a part of the Gender Book and then type in a comment that's like, hey, like this is why I think this is so relevant, right? And then you will respond to at least 2 of your peers. If this is your first time in doing like a 1+2 active reading exercise, know that generally what you're going to want to do is like add your comments and then close out of the Gender Book on Google Drive and then open it back up, and that will load everyone's comments, okay? So if you're like, I can't find all my friends' comments, don't worry, just like close out the document and then jump back in and you'll see them, right? And then just respond to at least 2 of your peers' comments. And if you don't see the comments or you're like, I'm really confused, just DM me and I will help. You can also call me during class, any of those things, okay? But that's all we're doing in class today. So for homework, what I want you to do is learn about infodoodling. And to learn about infodoodling, we are going to do a few things. One is that we are going to watch this TED Talk from Sunny Brown talking about infodoodling. Then I want you to check out this handout where I kind of recap the key things about infodoodling. And then what I want you to do is I want you to skim these 2 chapters of Sunny Brown's book called like The Doodle Revolution. And we're just literally skimming 2 different chapters and 2 different sections. The one on the foundations of visual literacy and the other one on mastering visual thinking. So we're not reading the entire things, but like certain selections of them. Okay. So that is what we are doing for homework, and just be prepared to infodoodle during our class on Thursday. All right. Cool beans.